Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen! Yeah!
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me.
Yeah! Yeah!
And ladies and gentlemen, I'd lose to Darren Till.
Yeah! 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 Ladies and gentlemen!
Ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd lose to Darren Till. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm KSI. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd lose to Darren Till. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm KSI.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Simon killed me.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Simon killed me.
The MMA Guru here, ladies and gentlemen!
And ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen!
KSI.
Ha ha ha!
Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen!
and ladies and gentlemen, I lose to Darren Till. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm KSI. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, I lose to Darren Till.
Ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen! The MMA Guru here, ladies and gentlemen! Yeah! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, the MMA Guru here, ladies and gentlemen! I'm telling you right now, I am not dead, ladies and gentlemen! The MMA Guru did not die at 27 years old, ladies and gentlemen! Ladies and gentlemen, the MMA Guru is here with you, ready to ruin people's lives together, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna ruin people's lives together, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody doxed me. I doxed myself when I went down there with Drinkus Duplessis. I told Drinkus my name, and Drinkus said, "All right, Kai." And then I went ahead and I downloaded the video, ladies and gentlemen. And there it was. Drinkus Duplessis saying my name, ladies and gentlemen, doxing me. Drinkus Duplessis doxed the MMA Guru, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't MMA Rigo, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't MMA Rigo at all, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Guru here, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking at one high, ladies and gentlemen. One high, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Guru, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Kaimoto, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaimoto, ladies and gentlemen. For the MMA Holes clan, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was basically it. Tomorrow, we're going to have a big one. Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm KSI. Ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me. And ladies and gentlemen.
And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It was a short one tonight, ladies and gentlemen. That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
And ladies and gentlemen, Simon killed me.